Hey, traders, welcome to the stream. In the midst of earnings week, where Facebook got obliterated. Twitter, I think officially, is now Elon's. And Turkey announced that they're going to be launching a central bank digital currency in 2023. Yeah, things happened today. Ford reported, but price wasn't affected very much. But here's Bitcoin, another crazy good day. Yesterday I had a bullish engulfing candle and a breakout, really, a supply line, and follow through today. And 51 minutes, it'll be the highest daily candle close since September 12th. Nice. So we're talking like 6-week highs. And breaking that local 20,500 level. And you think, I mean, here there's 21,500, but probably 22,500 in time. I get it though. You can see multiple inflection instances, June 25th and July 8th, and even really, August 25th. So there's a lot of chop there. But the shark still valid and still rallying, but you really want to see a break above 22,784 before you want to get excited of some sort, because it's like maybe one low, then the second low, and this would be the neckline of it. But beautiful price action today. Bitcoin, Ethereum, you name it, most alts. Not all of them. I mean, God, DOT isn't even up 1%, but mostly everything. Cardano's only up 1%. So you have a lot of underperformers to Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's just exciting to get some price action that's not just range bound for 6 weeks or at least a month, right? Because that's what it was 5 weeks before finally we got 2 days of price action. Very good, but let's just probably shouldn't even have started with this. Should have started with Meta. I don't ever call it Meta. It's Facebook, dude. Facebook. Currently down 19.1% after hours. Intraday, or when the market was open, it closed down 5.59%. So we're talking like pretty much in a day, Facebook's down 25% roughly, a quarter of its value gone, and you are now officially at the lowest price you've seen since March of 2016. And the global 886 could be in store in time. I don't think you want to know. I don't know. I don't think anyone in here owns Facebook, really. Like, right? Tell me, does anyone in here unironically own Facebook? Wow, look at that. Approaching the 786, which is 97.50, 97.13, and then the 886 is $60. I remember Scott Carney and me, when we had a podcast together, we were definitely looking at the possible outcome of it, but it looks like, oh my God, dude, it's getting down there, making good strides to those levels in less than a day. It'll open tomorrow. I wonder if it'll pump or continue to dump. Yeah, bad news, man. It was bad. Earnings miss, or at least the EPS. 13.5% negative surprise. Wow. Yeah, their revenues for YouTube were bad. Yeah, they were like underestimates and stuff like that. So get wrecked. Then Ford down after hours about 1.5%, but I would call that surviving. You survived earnings. So I know a lot of people are talking about head and shoulders on Ford, and someone was legit asking about shorting this. They requested it when we were down at 1120 or 1130, and it's like, well, I mean, is it the best, most strategic idea to be trying to go short at a support after a huge drawdown in a short period of time? Probably not, because stuff like this can happen, right? I'm saying it may just roll over and collapse below it, but there's always a chance that an asset might hold support for a second time, making a higher low officially, And as you can see, the 3-day, well, the daily showing hidden bullish divergence, but the 3-day, I believe I was on it. Look how good the 3-day looks. You know, the low here, then the slightly higher low. You got yourself some hidden bullish divergence. So still below that 200-day moving average, but again, I mean, the support's holding maybe for a second time, and you could maybe consider this, it's a potential dragon. If it breaks the supply line, it'd be working on the tail, 1330 or so. Okay. It's the dragon. That's right, dude. Hope everyone had a good day, and yeah, better than mine anyway. I'm still dealing with the fallout and aftermath of complete chaos yesterday. Going to Ethereum, that did break its supply line yesterday, catching fall through today on extremely high volume. Highest volume you've seen since June 13th when it crashed. It's inverse crashing now, it's pumping, and wow, man, it might be headed to 1730 again, which is, you know, I don't think your $1,000 target's dead until you start breaching above 1800. You start recapturing previous highs, which of course it's possible. Nothing's certain. If things were certain, we'd be at $1,000 right now, right? So nice how buyers defended that support so long, and now you're rallying off of it. You can thank the macro squeeze, you know, the S&P confirming a bottom, and for now, and Bitcoin rallying too. That helped Ethereum. But this thing's up 8% in 2 days, man. That's how fast these things happen, right? In 2 days, almost 20% up. So fast, man. So there you have. But after what? After an entire month of nothing. So there you have it, man. Supply line breached, massive pump, and where you are now, I mean, most of the time it's between 1420 and 1730. Breaking 1420 was huge because that was the 2017 cycle top, and you were just below that for a little over a month, man. And you broke back above it, so solid. BNB has not captured its highs yet. We want to see the assets. If you really want this to continue, you got to make a higher high. So you're getting there. You're getting closer and closer, up 2.5% or 2.57%. And I guess have your alert set up at like $300, because when you hear the $300 beep, that's when you know, hey man, higher highs. Finally making higher highs. More market participants than before. Just not yet. This one was tough because of where it was. Yeah, very nice. You'll be testing it. I bet you test that 200-day moving average soon, right? 294 right upon you. And it'll be the first official touch of the 200-day simple moving average since January. That's wild, right? Because you got extremely close the date of August 10th on Binance Coin, right? To test, to touch that 200 simple, you didn't. So you still haven't. So it's like been almost the entire year. So once you touch it, wow, I mean, maybe have your alert set up just at the 200 simple moving average, because that'd be impressive. That'd be something that hasn't happened in a long time. XRP hanging in there pretty well. Only up 2% today. That's fine, man. Just keep it up, I guess, right? Just keep up just hold the supports, man. Buyers defend 44 cents. This could very well be headed to the top of its range again, around 53 to 55 cents. I would think, like, if Bitcoin's truly reversing for now and Ethereum's truly reversing for now, like, I'm not a joke. Hey, this thing could extend to 25, 28, 30K before rolling over again. That is incredibly good news for XRP that was outperforming very well before any movement. So you'd think that if it outperformed in crap conditions and somewhat more bullish conditions, you'd think that XRP would outperform even more, and you'd have a target eventually of 58 cents. We had discussed the double top and the bearish divergence, but the sellers are not able to come up with anything to push the price any lower, and a stronger macro is going to make it impossible for that to happen. What's your XRP? Promising. As we just talked about, Binance Coin has not touched the 200-day simple moving average since January. And you've got XRP over here that has broken above it and has back testing it as support a couple times, with that hidden bullish divergence argument kind of there. It'd be like Class C hidden bullish divergence, where you kind of make this exact same low, but then lower levels on the RSI. So yeah, it could be implying upside here. And then Cardano, that you know, after a massive pump yesterday at one of the fib extension nodes, right? It's still so far off. I mean, like, you think this thing it could go even higher. It could do something like this, man, and then eventually roll over and see the 1618. You know, but the good news, if you're a fan of Hoskinson, son, you're back above the 2018 levels, the April or May of 2018. That was really important. That was like everything. So, but yeah, you're just catching a reaction. If you really wanted to long this, man, wouldn't you be wanting that second low? It's kind of like, hey, if you were gonna trade that that shark on Bitcoin, wouldn't you want to have a second low? The problem is you had a second low that lasted so long. Like one low at the 886 really, and then the second low, then maybe a third low here. You know, at least you had some sort of type 2 argument, whereas Cardano just reversed or reacted at a 1414. So it could be the jump across the creek. I wonder, man. I wonder. We're at the point in the market so dysfunctional now that, like, bad news is good news, and, you know, best case scenario is a recession now. So Cardano and then Sol that holding on, but it's only at 1%, 1.2%. You think, man, like, okay, we catch our rallies, they end up making lower highs than the one from September 12th, 37, and then you roll over later. Just too shallow here. I mean, it might be a shark, a deep shark. It went like 96, 97%. But that's like, we're gonna go to the index funds, but there are just like a couple things to look at. You know, trying to provide some sort of value. Like last month, how can I provide any value when there's no movement? 5 weeks, like straight up nothing. So let me get through Sol and then Doge after that. That, wow, man, let me surprised here in the end. Caught an engulfing candle yesterday, caught follow through today, massive follow through today, and taking it. It's confirmation low, I guess. But just since August 26th, it did nothing. Now it's finally doing something. And you think, what about the shark? The shark never hit the 886, right? If you were going to call it a shark, it was too strong. It was the 786, it seems like, where it really held and pumping now. And if you're above 6.5 cents, I think it's very possible to see 7.86 cents. A 200-day moving average right there too. Very nice. Very nice, man. Hopefully you had Doge in the past 2 days and it pumped, right? But it was just tough for me to see much on it. I mean, yesterday was really telling, but man, the fall through today was awesome. But you're not making a higher high yet, really, than your previous high. Dots, you know, yesterday it had its big pump, and it still seems, I mean, you're not making higher highs yet. You're still below the key inflection point. Nothing. This is kind of a really weak one, a weak performer here so far. Do you think there could be more downside in time? Is it making higher lows? No. See, at least Bitcoin was making the higher lows, right? It kept holding the 886 for 5 weeks, right? The 886, you know, the anchor point from June 18th at 17,562. It held the 886. This thing has just made its lowest lows. Like, it didn't hold on. I mean, this is your May low, and then your Black Saturday low. You're lower than that. That's worse than Bitcoin. So But then, you know, those are the big ones. And you got, just go into it real quick. Hex, dude, continuing to catch follow through, up 12.6% today. Got back above 3 cents. 3.9 cents was a major thing. I mean, like, these getting back above these levels is very important, because if I mean, at one point you were below that level for days. And if you're below that level too long, probably going to 2 cents or 1.5 cents. But the thing is, the new data obviously is showing that you've confirmed a bottom here that could be a massive upside, you know, in time, if this level holds. But definitely not like saying I called any of this or anything. I think the market conditions are so terrible right now that you maybe had a marginal downside potential, but again, the whole thesis has been, it's been in a bear market for so long, for about a year now, but at the same time, these assets have lost so much value. They're getting to those 786, 886 levels, the global ones, right, the big ones, and they've been doing nothing at those levels, and no one was buying them, but the bids started coming in. So it was kind of just like long-term bear trend, but so destroyed that if you rally the upside, I'm not going to be that surprised. But yeah, certainly wasn't calling for upside. Just, I mean, like, I understand as a market participant, I don't know where an asset's going, right? You shouldn't act like you know either, nor should the people that are out there being influencers. Oh, they knew, right? They certainly know, right? They don't. Could have just as easily dumped if the index funds didn't hold supports. They did. So it was great. You know, when the index funds held for the second time, it was really, really good for crypto, or really any asset out there. They killed the VIX, you know, too. They suppressing it still. Okay, I don't know. I went to Hex just because it was up a lot, but there's probably some ones to look at that, you know, I was looking at with posting Patreon, like, that are pretty interesting. You know, you just let's go to YFI, because that one very interesting where this asset is and what it's doing at that level. Okay, so you go back to the low from November 5th of 2020, right around the election or something. Yeah. There it is. You saw the drawdown and the huge V shape. Well, guess what? You were below that and you've broken back above it, and now you're officially back testing it as support methodically. Clearly, you can see a falling wedge there, and you know, towards the apex of the falling wedge. Look how well developed the classic bullish divergence was or became, and now you are testing a spot. You haven't broken it yet, but you are so close. And yesterday was a bullish engulfing candle. Today, 34 minutes to go, but today's showing follow through, you know, closing higher than yesterday's close, and pretty much confirming that bullish engulfing candle. You got to understand here what could happen if it holds this level successfully. The divergence performs well and it breaks the supply line straight up, down, and you can see that no, it did not go straight up to 18K. Market conditions were so bearish. Macro was terrible. How could it? It rolled over when Bitcoin and everything else rolled over. But you can see the price action you received. Once you broke that level, it immediately went up 88% in a day before pulling back. And now officially back testing the spring. This is a spring when you break above a key inflection point, and when you come for the back test, it's called a spring back test. This looks incredible. Like, I know the macro is terrible. It's awful. We're probably going to zero. Everyone's going to default. Sovereign debt crisis. Central bank digital currency. World economic forum. Eating the bugs. And, you know, inflation. And 40-year highs on inflation. And then you've got, like record credit card debt for the consumers. And, yeah, the housing market is going through a pretty massive correction right now, right? Like mortgage applications are down like over 40% year over year. I mean, you've got in many markets, not all of them, not even most of them, but in many markets you have like massive price reductions, massive percentage price reductions. So it's just like everywhere you turn, the macro is terrible. But here I am, just looking at some speculative S coin that's doing something like almost hyper bullish if we're using just technical analysis, right? Richard Wyckoff stuff, 1920s, and combining it with Bulkowski, combining it with, you know, divergencies, Wells Wilder and all that. So it's pretty interesting, right? I mean, anyone out there agree or disagree? What would I expect anyone to respond to that question I asked? Okay, well, let's move on. There are others that are very interesting, not like incredible or insane. Look at Storage Coin. Just got to wonder here. You just got to wonder. It's a, you know, 618B point lower high C, so it's a Gartley, but it's a Bartley. So it went down to the 886, but the 886. This is very interesting stuff going on storage, on YFI. As you can see, clearly September 2020 was a valley, peak in October 2020, November 2020, multiple times on Thanksgiving. Look at this, December 2020. Look at that, January 2021. When you broke it, you see where it went, 64 cents to 69 cents. You can see peaks back from October 2018 on this one. You can even see one time a valley, November 2017. You are at that level attempting to hold it. Market participants have been holding it since the 13th. And you just got to wonder, like, and on top of it, at the 886, at that inflection point that goes back all the way to 2018, look at your MACD histogram. I mean, these are all happening. I don't know if they're going to play out. I never act like I know they're going to play out. I'm just identifying the variables that are happening at a very key spot, right? Interesting. So probably a supply line was already breached too, you know. I'm not probably going to plot it from the A point. I mean, we could try just to screw around and see. Dang, dude, if you anchor it like that, it's like you broke out just like a couple days ago, a few days ago. So you kind of got like a creek. You're jumping across a creek here. Oh yeah, I like that because you can see, yeah, the price action above it, but traders settled up below it. You tested it on the 10th and rolled over and pretty much reversed again. But now you're out of it very quietly and subtly. Man. So there's like a lot of good variables, a lot of good things going on storage right here at the pattern completion zone of an M shape. And it would just be like, if it, we'll say all these variables played out, I think your target would be 64 to 69 cents up there, right? I mean, that's the only thing to me that makes sense, straight down and up and down and up, and then eventually down, and then why not up, you know? If it played out, which again, I'm not acting like I know if it's gonna play out. But I think it's my job to identify things that exist that are going on. That's why, like on Bitcoin, it was like, well, there are two trade setups that are valid, you would think, where you have potential collapse with no bids soon, or the shark that's been there for 2 months that is not invalidated yet, so that could play out. But I was thinking maybe more towards down, but oh man, you broke that supply line and held on, dude. Okay, so I'm just, you know, looking at things that are interesting. There is another one. It was like UniSwap, man. Like, look what's happened on UniSwap. It's like this old channel I've had plotted. I just went with 1 and then 2 and then kind of ignored that one because of how well, you know, I was getting respect on the bottom, and then the heart line was pretty good. Support, resistance, resistance. But like, you've broken that level at this point, and momentum shifting, and there's a horizontal neckline at 698. You're above the 200-day moving average as of yesterday. You're catching follow through on the engulfing. It will be very interesting to see if UniSwap could break 698 to $7. That is a daily candle high close from September of 2020. Pretty much a valley, January 2021. I think it's a very major level. Just happens to be acting as that neckline of potential inverse head and shoulders. If you broke it, measure move, you know, it's not a very large pattern. Would probably just take it 862. That makes sense, right? Where, you know, UniSwap, the wick high was on that same day. Yeah, the candle high close. I think that would probably be the target, but you just wonder, I mean, these things have lost it all, man. All of it gone, you know? So that was the problem. It was like they didn't look that bullish because there's just no bids coming in for so long. They were just sitting like complacent spot. I mean, Uniswap's the same price it was May 9th of this year. You get how like dead the markets became after the crash. And so it's like, hey man, I mean, yes, this is where major reactions occur, but it may not, doesn't mean it's going to happen this time. It could continue to roll over, but it's showing this. It is right now showing this potential reversal. Tron 2 now, I just saw that as of today. It's, you know, I figure, hey man, below 6.2 cents, history tells us almost always, man, straight down. But here you are trying to recover. Bulls trying to regain momentum, as you can see, the higher low. And if you break 6.4 cents again, I think straight up to 7.1 cents. You're just in this chop zone, but it's a local, small little structure. I don't know, small structure, dude. There's been no movement, and this started kind of like September 6th. So we're going on almost a 2-month long consolidation structure right here. So is it even really like small? It's small in like size, but in time, it's pretty large. I mean, those are like official Bulkowski patterns. He talks about like coupled handles, maybe 2 weeks large at least, you know, stuff like that on dailies. This is almost 2 months large, say 7 weeks large. Uniswap, same thing. Yeah, Matt, what's up, dude? Yeah, because that was one that was also very interesting. It's only at 1.6%, but let me just show you here. I mean, 4 hour on this one. It's very, very interesting where it is. I know that 886 from this low failed, but you know, you went a little lower, but you didn't fall below it. You never fell below that X point, July 5th low. And now you're showing like accumulation again. You're holding back above this local low from June. And you're very close to breaking above like the harder support resistance level we've had plotted. And the upside could be crazy. It really could. It might be wild if you get above 6 cents and stay above it long enough, okay? I mean, you've already jumped across a creek, I guess, right? You'd done that way before, but like this. Yeah, you had like, wow, look at that. You had like this false breakout a couple times. And now here you are right back above it, right? It's almost like Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin testing that level, testing it. But now you're right now quietly above the creek jump, or just barely. Yeah. Wow. So it's something to pay attention to on some of the else. Not all of them. Some of them look just like hot garbage, like not even close to, you know, like DOT just made its lowest low. It's not like holding a range or anything. Hands off maybe, but if you're just looking to speculate a little bit, the ones that look like this are probably better. And you probably got a better shot than something like DOT. Oh, Nvidia's up 5% now. Yeah, I know it was up marginally, but I guess it's really climbed because Ford's shutting down their AI business. Wow. And that might stem from what our government's now investigating Tesla for their AI, right? The whole self-driving car thing, which is just so ironic that they like officially launched some sort of investigation the day that Elon Musk, you know, on paper becomes like the owner of Twitter. Coincidence? I think we've learned that there are really no coincidences like that. No way. So your H bar, and then you've got others too that are interesting, like GRT garbage, man. Like whatever it does, great. It's just not. It doesn't look as interesting as H bar. It's not gonna look as good as like what was maybe Tezos. Tezos now kind of looking interesting here. I mean, an 886 was touched, you know, and I get it. I looked at this on the daily, and this was just a scam wick. All right, but done that before on this one. But yeah, you've like jumped across a creek here, you know, you jumped across the creek, and here you are. I mean, testing 145 not like really a joke, but just think about a range. I mean, 186 if things really start accelerating, if like Bitcoin really starts going, I mean, some of the altcoins could have a good time. Yeah, it's like this. I'm just like, you see what I did? It's omitting that, and really, it's not that big a deal. It's still technically valid, a 1414. Doesn't matter though, right? If I use the wick or not, it's still an 886 down here. So caught a brilliant reaction so far. Now let's just get above that May 12th low, and let's see if we could get a 50% retrace, like a bearish 5 or something. But all that divergence down there, you know, all the divergence, and it's kind of wedging a little bit too locally, and that stems me to what was it? FIL. FIL's in the chat. There it is. Yeah, down at this basement level, wedging and the divergence. You know, triple divergence, and you know, I'm not saying to long FIL. I'm just, this is the sake of education. You know, if you're at a bottom, you're doing this. You engulfed yesterday, you'll get fall through today. You got to break 534. You just haven't yet. But you just understand, like, maybe, you know, upside could take it to 641, but maybe 723. It's like one major bottom, second major bottom, possible. FYI, man, looking solid, dude. Like, it solid in terms of technical identification of things, right? That are happening at crazy levels, yeah. We got 20 minutes till your daily candle close. If you're enjoying the live stream, the like button, the bell, and sub. Thanks for being here. There are others. I know we haven't gone to stocks yet or anything. I mean, we went to Meta and Ford, but just because I thought it was kind of important. Hey, man, like, some stuff's kind of happening a little bit, right? Hey, look at this on SNX. This is just takes a little open-minded thinking here, and it could be complete bullcrap, but anchoring this way. You have a textbook Gartley for now, textbook, right? And reacting the 786 very well with all that triple bullish divergence. And I'm sure probably a creek, jumping across a creek of sorts. Yeah, you certainly have. You already did. Yeah, you jumped across the creek, back tested it. It's pretty nice. And yeah, I get it. Like probably that same type of FIL wedge. Right there, you got that too. And went all the way to the, something like that. If you get above 247, though, what we know about history is 348 target. Very, very interesting. And I love seeing harmonics down at potential bottom areas versus trying to identify a harmonic at like a top, right? I mean, these are some decent areas to be identifying completed harmonics. So just please pay attention to SNX. Have your alert set up, because this thing, I'm not kidding, if it breaches this last level, history tells us down, up, 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 down. That's it. Just about it. So the upside, if it broke the key level again, after completing the very real harmonic, 40% upside on SNX if this actually catches follow through. We cool? Understand why I'm spending just a little bit more time on crypto. There are others like Neo. I believe, I know, Chinese S coin, but jumped across a creek, completed a harmonic. You know, exceeded the 886. I understand that, but get anything back above $8 is very good. And if you're really above the other one, sorry, this isn't visible. right? I was talking about this 886 here. It goes and it hits a 110% retrace, 109% retrace. But look, if you see from May 12th, this could be like the lowest risk, one of the lowest risk areas ever, right? I mean, like if you're talking about just a range bound asset. Again, that trade setup was posted. I know maybe it hit stop or whatever. It's still valid. Re-looking at it, right? It's like looking at it fresh. Hey man, we're still at like the lowest risk areas ever for a range trade. With that 200 moving average. So you get it, right? Where I'm coming from. I'm not saying any of this is going to play out. I'm just identifying what happened was all these altcoins were breaking key supports. They were below them. Remember, I'm streaming every day, so I'm like, we're identifying them below the key supports, breaking down.
Stocks tipped $23.60. It's in times like these where we are tested. Our patience, our skill, our endurance. We show up every day and results don't always follow immediately, but we must have faith that the universe is favoring work ethic and perseverance, the stuff that nobody sees.
Very good, man. Couldn't have said it better myself. I'm not even close, J-Talks. Thanks for the 2360. Thank you, dudes. Yeah, these are certainly times that try men's souls, you know, more so than other. I got all this external stuff, all these distractions, you know, behind that closed door that's really messing with me. Really messing with me, dude. Like losing it. And it's been an ongoing thing for months, but it just became like, I don't know, it just kind of like spiraled out of control yesterday morning. So, and now I might be dealing with like a lawsuit and stuff, lawyering up. I got my insurance company's lawyers and stuff. It's bad. Like, wow, having to deal with this. And it's maybe just the beginning of what's going to be a very lengthy process. So I'm just super stressed and, you know, market liquidity drying up means, you know, viewership dries up. It's harder to trade things. It's almost impossible to trade things. Or if you're going to do it, you might be having to wait 6 weeks before any kind of resolution. You're ready for that. You know, you long something, you're waiting for it to play out or get stopped out, and it doesn't resolve for 6 weeks. You're just sitting in the position. Yeah, I get it. Thanks, J-Togs. That's kind of where I'm at. The peaks and valleys in life, and I'm certainly in the valley right now. That's okay. Figure it out. Completely forgot. Let's go to Total, because Total doing something very, very possibly good. Possibly.
I like turtles.
You got 959.687 billion. Well, you're 959.697 billion right now. You're flirting with it, but flirting with what, man? The high from June 15th, the high from June 26th, the high from July 7th. You're trying to break that, which would be a colossal breakout. You're just attempting to break out with you're not really getting it yet. You're just hugging it, which is okay. It's fine. Even if you pulled back, as long as you make a higher low than the previous lows, I think everything will be okay. Because you're making your highest highs since September 14th, which I think is really, really good. Taking out the highs from September and October. So that's where you are on Total. Breakout watch, have your alerts set up. Understand, I think it can be a quick run to 1.03 trillion if you do break it based on historical price action above it. Straight back up. Okay. Very nice, man.
You got this, Mitch.
What's up, Brian? Thanks, dude. For the 20. Yeah, I got it. It's just not always about getting it. It's just more about like persevering through it and living day in, day out while it's all happening, you know? That's the harder part. Okay, we'll go to the S&P now. The that didn't really, you know, I mean, it was individual stocks today. If you were looking for the wow factor, this was kind of blah. I mean, it closed down 0.74%. Oh, these gaps here. That's not even, while it's there, still. It's gap filled. All the gaps filled. Still below that 200 moving average on the 4-hour. But, you know, it's the supply line. It's the dragon. It's the divergence with the dragon and holding support. But you just, and the daily close. Not sure I like that. Right? I don't think I like this candle. It might not be anything. It does have the makings of a shooting star, a green shooting star reversal, but it's weird that where it closed and where it didn't gap up and didn't, you know, see a shooting star like in a situation like where this was. That'd be way better. I don't know how this is gonna go. Like where you're looking for like a shooting star at a top, not like weirdly in, you know, closing lower than yesterday's close. So just maybe pay attention to this potential shooting star and a kind of weird spot. I wonder if it would usher in the reversal, or just maybe we pull back some. You know, dude, you could do all kinds of, this is the daily, man. Okay, we pull back and we sell off and then we pivot later, you know, and okay, stuff like that can happen. People get freaked out. Yeah, that's the market we live in right now. It was the big story this week has been about the developing weekly bullish divergence across the index funds. Dow Jones, kind of the same shooting star. Great news, chat. What do we know about dragons? What are the targets on dragons? Can someone tell me? Anyone at all? I know there aren't many left, people watching, but you know. What are the targets again? Just like that. You can't type again. $618-786, exactly. So one, good job. Very good on, thank you, Bizico, Matthew D, Pot, Cody, Jay, Cartel, Bulger. Thank you all for participating in the answering. Okay, so yes, 618 and pulled back, and that's it. Closed the day up 0.01%. You can't even tell. So you just don't know if it's going to hit the second target, but my God, that was great. I mean, this is like a beautiful dragon, man. Put it in the textbook, you know. In a downtrend, the dragon can happen, but this is just testament and goes back to the whole, and all market conditions, whether you're finding tops or you know, this is a whole bear market, but bottoms found confirmation lows, tops found confirmation highs, confirmation lows, confirmation lows. The top's not always showing you the confirmation highs, right? But man, these bottoms, pretty solid. First attempt, no one knows. Second time, everyone knows. But one thing is true, that just about every single time you bottomed out and you've gone on these runs, you've almost always, if you haven't always, made lower highs than the previous major highs. So you got to wonder, is that in store for the Dow Jones? Will it go test the 200-day moving average, the supply line of the downtrend, maybe the inflection point from history? I wonder, man. If it performs well, it would go to the second target, but, you know, just a bear market rally on the index funds. Nice. It happens, man. The NASDAQ down 2%. You could thank the big tech, right? Google and Microsoft for getting destroyed today, or on earnings after hours yesterday, but that all was real. Didn't, you know, you didn't, that didn't, like the selling didn't manifest into buying it all back, and it stayed down, and we can look at those. But this kind of candle, you got a very weird candle. Really nothing. but still above 10,823, still above 10,523, still broke the supply line. So just the worst performer of the 4, I believe. Now here we go. And we're talking about shooting stars. Let me move this over. Shooting stars. This is a very genuine one. It's not red. I get it. It's a green shooting star, but nevertheless, it's very real. What happened? I mean, the abandoned baby reversed, but it didn't last long, you know? So what do y'all think? Will the shooting star on the Russell 2000 play out? Maybe that's a poll. You know, maybe we do a poll on it. Very, very real. It's almost a 50% retrace. So it didn't hit the, you know, targets. It's crazy. Isn't it wild? All the Fibonacci we have with the anchor points from the same high to the same lows. The Dow Jones is certainly outperforming all of them. As we just discussed, the Dow Jones hit a 618 and everything else is failing to, I mean, 382s and 50%. So yeah, just it'd be a fun little poll to see, a little different. You know where we are. We're in thin order book territory where it's straight up and down and up and down and up and down. So you're gonna wonder, hey, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe the price action has to go straight back up, same levels, and we got to see the targets of the dragon. This was the prettiest dragon, I think, of the 4. Or of, you know, the 4 index funds. This had the prettiest dragon, just not performing the best, but performing adequately. It's just not at targets, either one yet. 1883 and 1948. So you're saying about gold, man, like it's breaking the supply line, the original supply line, but it's still below the key levels. But hey, man, you know, like it's doing what the index funds are doing. It's putting in a potential confirmation low, even though it broke supports and it's still below the supports. Just pay attention to what is maybe happening here. Maybe, just maybe, diverging on the histogram, kind of the RSI. I mean, for sure, saying kind of because it's a slightly higher low, but it's a pretty much class B bullish divergence going on. So gold, it's not dead yet and could be trying to present an argument for a reversal that could maybe give you, it's like a dragon almost. Like you could almost look, you forget about everything except this high from August 11th and you anchor it here and you have yourself a potential dragon. The X, the A, the B, the C completing and could be going to the C to D wave, and the C to D wave could take you to 618 and 786. Just pay attention, okay? It's not about the breakdown itself. It's about the follow through. So far, the follow through has been terrible. In fact, the follow through isn't happening. The buyers are trying to confirm a bottom here below support. But yeah, I think the long-term target is 1522, 1453. It could take 6 months, but I'm just saying, like, you could be ushering in a wave up that turns into an 886, 786 from the previous high before then later doing this. So what happens when that occurs? Like, the trend doesn't change. It just has upside. Shorts get destroyed, you know? And shower thought about like October 24th, which was the 93rd anniversary of the beginning of the Great Crash in 1929. And I didn't think about it, you know, that China and Hong Kong's markets legitimately crashed the same day. So it's like they're going through their own October 24th, 1929, or they did on the anniversary. I think that's pretty cool. Like they didn't crash on the 22nd, 23rd, 25th. No, it was literally the 24th when they crashed, and that's the anniversary. I thought that was cool. Something I did not brought up. or even thought about till I was in the shower, man. So pay attention. It's not all doom and gloom. I mean, it is bad. It's really tough to want to be bullish below these levels, but look what you're trying to do. You're trying your dangest to show bullish edge here. The trend would change when you make a higher high, you pull back, you make a higher low than previous lows, then you rally to make a higher high, and all of a sudden it's a few higher highs, a few higher lows. That hasn't happened, has it? You did just put in the same bottom, but that doesn't count. That shows us psychology of buyers and sellers. There's about the same amount of market participants September 26th than there was October 20th. So it's not really an accumulation argument yet, quite yet. You can get potential double bottoms and downtrends, and they just run and just roll over again, like the S&P 500 earlier this year. It was like, where were you? You were, like this. It's like, hey man, we got one bottom and then a second bottom, but we already knew the trend was in jeopardy because you made the highest high, then you made a lower low than previous low, then you made a lower high than previous high. Then that's when you're starting to think, man, this could be bad. Then you made a lower low. Now we're like talking about the trend has reversed. Maybe if we get another lower high or the same high, we'll really know. And then like this rally, it turned into a rally, the confirmation low, but look what it did. It performed so miserably because the trend had reversed and you rolled over after that. So it's just same thing. Like the trend has, you haven't shown that enough of these yet on gold. Flip the chart over. Yeah, it's like you haven't shown any confirmation of accumulation yet on gold because the two lows you received were the lowest lows so far of the downtrend. Okay, silver. Go to silver. What's up today? Really, just, man, see, now this is interesting because you made your lowest low. This is not what gold's doing. This is what silver's doing for now. Okay. You made your lowest low. Now you're testing once September 28th and again October 14th, a local low from July. None of this really was there until last couple weeks. And now are you doing the whole confirmation of accumulation right now on silver? This is a real possibility. Right, more market participants twice own silver than they did the date of September 1st. So that is very subtle, but it could be very important. So please pay attention to silver trying to confirm accumulation here and a little bit kind of an edge, some hidden bullish divergence maybe on the MACD and RSI. We got a new day. New day. We got a new day upon us, Chad. We got a new day. Bitcoin making its highest highs in a while, man. Let's go to it. Let's go to it. Check it out. Okay, amen. Amen. Highest daily candle close said September 12th. All right. Done it, man. 6-week highs, roughly. And clearly above 19,891. Only concern, like, why did you break it and you haven't back tested it? Why didn't you? I wish we would have back tested it yesterday. I felt so good. Get a back test in the same candle. You just didn't do that yet. So now it's like open for debate on whether we get a formal back test. So here it is, the bearish argument and the bullish argument. You know, you got them both, and won't even trying to be like, hey man, I know exactly where we're going. I'm so certain. Like, no way, no way. It was too tough, man. It was just the circumstances were really tough. The bearish macro, awful market conditions, no liquidity, and but the downtrend's been going on for so long. There's an M shape there, and it hasn't been invalidated. You're still technically making higher lows than the previous lows, and now you broke a supply line and could be headed to, I mean, you'd think, right? Like at least like 21.6 on deck. Yeah, too many black swans waiting, possibly. There's just so many things that could go wrong. composite operator just comes out tomorrow and says something about something terrible happening. These earnings reports too, you know, those could also be market drivers, bad market drivers, but yeah. Man, been live at 1 hour. We did it, man. We did it, made it 60 minutes. So that's just, you know, the whole... It's going to be someone no one expects. It always is, man. It always is. The composite man already knows what he's going to do. Yeah, nuclear bomb go off. I don't think it'd be a nuclear war, really. There's butterfly from this X point. I wouldn't even worry about it. I would look more. If you were going to do a harmonic, why would you not use this as the X point? It's so discernible, right? It'd be something like this, maybe. 50%, 886. I mean, I would look at it something like that. You know, 22,268. If you were going to do if you're going to try to draw any kind of M shape, but at the same time, you could anchor the same way where it's like this, almost like a shark, like an X and a B, a C, and then a D. I mean, that could be very possible. The shark on shark action that takes you to 24,455. Yeah, whatever. So both of them imply a little bit more upside. Look at the weekly. The weekly. This is not the highest. The highest volume came in on September 26th, at least on Binance. Which is interesting because that was the bottom for now. Maybe a morning star in the end. Yeah, I mean, okay, so 21,000, kind of a peak from June 20th. I think there's just a little bit more upside on the daily. Whether it's the local 886 or the little less local 886. Positive momentum's at its highest point since November of last year. That's freaking crazy, right? You know, you got November. I mean, that's been the case every time, every week, right? But just thinking about that, that's when like the bear market started. Didn't know the time, but that was it. That was the top, and here you are. Positive Momo building, and the bullish divergence, at least here, is continuing to play out. And this is the type of stuff, you know, and really it could be one bottom and second bottom. I mean, you're trying to maybe put in a potential double bottom or something. What's up, J-Tugs?
Togs tipped $25. Man, could we look at NG1?
Yeah, we'll look at natural gas for sure, dude. That played out. Now it's like, Thanks, man.
GMX.
What's up, Bryce Jones? Yes, we will hit GMX. Really appreciate it. Okay, so this level, and market participants are trying to confirm a bottom at the key inflection point from December 2017. It's just real life right now until it just rolls over again, and it could, but kind of, this is how it starts. This is certainly how it can begin for a more, you know, just think about waves, man. When you're above $19,800, dude, it's like up and down and then up and then down. So history, there's not much data here on a significant time scale where you'd think that if anything, it could be going to 25.1 just to go test that neckline of the potential double bottom that's in development now. There you go, right? I mean, this hex looks like this too. Okay. Max Payne has already come. What are you talking about? We have Max Payne. Max Payne's been here. I mean, where have you been for the past year? All right, natural gas 1 specifically. All right. Well, let me. Do we have another request? Nah. Natural gas was the first one anyway, so. Wow, man. Wow, it's different than UNG. What the? Oh, yeah. Crazy candle. Insane candle. But, like, you know, it gapped up, but it's up 10%. There was divergence in the end on the daily, wasn't there? Kind of reversed, kind of at this peak here from November 2018. It was more like, I think this was a stronger argument for reversal of downside than what you've got for an upside right here. I mean, maybe it was a 113 shark or something in the end. Someone was like talking about the 886, but we never even reacted. Maybe this is the reaction you'd be looking for a 113. And of course it was a 113. My God, dude, look at that. That's insane, dude. A 113. So what? A 50% retrace gives you a bearish 5-0. So maybe the target's 737 in time. You know, you eventually off that, go to 50%, and then you roll over again later. Right? Possible. JTOGs. Wild indeed. Check on our live cattle futures. Still so effing elevated, man. No bearish edge. I mean, it's just climbing up because there's very little resistance up here. You think eventually 153 to your stake price. Your hogs still hanging in there, but still making lower highs and lower lows. So orange juice continues to fly. Oh man, it's so strong. With all the bearish divergence at a 1414, doesn't matter. It's like.
Can you look at Bitcoin yearly bearish engulfing candle in progress?
You know what that means, Jeremy. We got a lot of upside in the next 2 months to prevent it from happening, right? Just kidding, but yeah, we can look at that. Thanks, man. So, does orange juice top out at 204? 204. It's really like God, it's right there. I don't know why that was so off. I'm scaled out. It was in July of 2011, that peak. You're above that currently. And I mean, above this level, you kind of get up, down, up, down. I mean, 227 could be the target from here. But you're slightly above it, and if it breaks that, then your next target, I mean, at least for the Harmonic's completion zone, it's going to be 220. That point, you're thinking maybe you'll test all-time highs if you don't break them, right? This is an insanely strong asset, and it's been that way for a long time now. Like, this is better than Bitcoin, right? It's going parabolic, and that's undeniable. It keeps legging up. I'm talking like 75-year lows on supply on orange juice. Is there such thing as orange cider? I don't know. I'm not really sure, man. Dang, dude, gasoline futures inversed natural gas. Look at that. Gasoline futures today down 10.11%. Wow. Hard to make sense of that. I wonder if it was news driven. Orange cider's marmalade. Marmalade cider is what you mean? I don't know about the weekly on Bitcoin showing bearish divergence yet. I think it's way too early. What if the impulse keeps going? What if we keep rolling to the upside off the classic divergence? Because I think we just looked at the weekly. There's no hidden bearish divergence yet until you top out for real, and that's going to take a few weeks, you know. So it's incredible on the weekly actually right now for maybe confirming a bottom. You're back above the key supports, and that was all I needed. I'm gonna feel cautiously optimistic on Bitcoin above 19,891.99. That's been the sermon almost every day. Below it, cautiously optimistic. Below it, can't be really bullish because it could collapse. But we're above it, man. We did it. So you stay above this long enough, I think you could we know thin order book territory above 19,891. So just interesting, gasoline futures wrecked. How about coffee? Oh yeah, dump it to the abyss, man. 172 on its way. Coffee, baby. 174 incoming, but really 172, which is that peak back from 2008. Very, very nice. I mean, so you're upon the target is upon ye. You stay below this level too long, you go straight to this level. If you don't hold 172, it's gonna be real nasty for coffee, which is good, right? Because I mean, even I know it's paper, but this will eventually translate into good stuff for like CPI and also just consumers, and I think it'll probably drive the prices down somewhat. I don't know. Let's ask Chris Irwin how those prices going, the market prices for your coffee around the world. Probably better for him. So there you go. This is fresh lows. This is your lowest daily candle close technically since August 9th. But this is very similar price action, just a little off than what the S&P did, right? It had the run, had its highest high, sold off, made a lower low than previous low, not bad, but then a lower high than previous high, then a lower low. Wait a second, now we're beginning the trend reversal argument. Then you rally to make about the same high. As long as this high is lower than the highest high, it's distribution confirmation. You dump, made another lower low. But can't be all that easy always, right? Can't be as fortunate as we were on the S&P, where it rallied one more time and made the same highs. So, okay, still distribution argument. And then you sold off, and then that little Momo shift and dump. So the trend is bearish, very much so. I don't know. Do you have a ticker for tomato futures? I don't even think that's a thing. But yeah, I do love it on coffee because I've been bearish on this crap really since June. It's like, what's going to happen? I think I'm losing my mind. And now it's finally resolving in late October, or mid-October to late October. My birthday present, I guess. And the food commodities we looked at in a minute. Beautiful, 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 man. Like, I love it. Don't you? Rice completed the shark, the type 2 return on the second high, the confirmation high or the type 2. There was a bearish edge, and you're following through very well below the 200-day moving average for the first time since November of last year. That is very telling. That happened yesterday/today. It's been a year, like literally about 365 days, say like 360 days or 357 days since rice futures on the daily has fallen below its 200 some moving average. Gotta love it, man. And it's kind of similar to hog futures reversed this way. Okay, let's go back to total real quick. Doing something interesting. I know it seems like XRP is killing it right now on the new day. New price action. Boom. Look what you're doing, chat. Very good. Breaking resistance. Or you're trying to on the new day immediately. You gotta love it. You kind of closed like at it. 3 days in a row testing it, but each day of the 3, you made a higher closed than the day before. It's really 4 days of testing it. Look, I mean, going to 26th, 7th. Sorry, this is the 4 hour. My bad. My God, dude, I thought it was on the daily. Each 4 hour candle testing that level, but each time higher and higher. But now you're catching that breakout. So if it's a real breakout, you're thinking straight up to 976 billion, just these 3 highs there, and then above that, wow, again, like 1.03 trillion could be in store for you. I don't know about that. I don't get actual chicken futures or anything. Chicken soup for the Soul Entertainment Corporation? What the? What is that? Ever heard of that? 60,000 volume? Can't say you're not at the basement, though, on this. I don't know why I'm here, okay? I was looking for chicken futures just for the memes and then somehow stumbled across the hold on. Stumbled across this thing that it's, I think you'd be like, what the? Look at this. Chicken soup for the Soul Entertainment Corporation. Does anyone know about this? Movies and entertainment. Look at your low from 2017, 18, 19, 20. Look at that spring back. This is the Jesus spring back test. This is the dream, man. It's educational. I don't know what this is. It's 60,000 volumes, a joke. But that right there, that is how you can make life-changing gains. Okay, it really, really is. When you fall below the key support, it was COVID, and then the rally, and then the back test of that valley as support, and then look at the follow through. It was the run, similar to what GameStop did to its own 2004 respective levels. But here you are, you're just down here trying to get back above those levels after losing 100% of your value. You made a fresh all-time low in May. It's just, I don't know, man, just screwing around. What else is there to do? I know about Chicken Soup for the Soul, the books, but Entertainment Incorporated that make movies? By the way, they like seldom make money. They do have earnings. Did they already have it? No, earnings coming up on the 17th of November. So you got a minute on that. Look at the, oh my God, the EPS last earnings report, a 93% negative surprise. Wow. Estimated negative 72 cent EPS, and it was, wow, minus 67. Or it was like what projected of, no, reported minus 139. Wow, and it was estimated minus 72 cent. Holy crap. Is that what killed it? No, yeah, it like gapped up and then just got wrecked. What's up, Stuart? Decentralized finance agency. It sounds like disaster. Okay, let's go to GMX for Bryce, because he requested it. Thank you, Bryce, for supporting the channel. GMX, there's a lot of GMXs. I'm talking about GMX the crypto, GMX the mining enterprise on Toronto Stock Exchange. Probably talking about the crypto. We can just crypto, he says. Okay, sweet, thank you. Quick response, man. That's really important. Just looking for the right exchange though. All the data, and maybe it's new. It has to be new, I guess. No, you're good, man. It happens. I've just never heard of GMX before, so. Do you have an exchange that has the most data that you want me to look at? CoinX looks like it has the most. But it's just the scam wicks, man. Kind of annoying here. It's really tough, man. What about all these wicks, man? It's like... I mean, you just range bound here. You kind of like got a range going. You certainly, in an uptrend, this is really nice. In an uptrend, you have classic bullish divergence, so I love that. So if you're in an uptrend and you're identifying a bullish variable in an uptrend, it could be reliable and outperform. So I would think like the target, maybe if you're talking about a range, $57. That would be maybe your target, and your cutoff probably is going to be below $30. Right, you can just see why. Because below that could very well turn into $13. I would say that's about it. Yeah, that's really nice though. Seller exhaustion on the daily at kind of an inflection point or zone, right? It's been created. That's kind of it. Okay. Let's go to, forgot about copper. Let's run to that real quick. My God. It's the Gartley, the type 2 return. Gartley with a spring back test on the type 2. This is unreal. This could take you to $4. Like I was like, distribution. And all of a sudden, wait a second, hold on. Is that a joint? No, that's a Gartley. At an inflection point of 329, buyers defended it. Not once, but then twice. Massive engulfing candle. Again, you could be headed to 392. And guess what? You'd still be in a bear trend. If copper was at 395, you'd still be in a long-term bear trend. It could go to 412, 415. Still a long-term bear trend. Do you get that? Pretty incredible, though. Wow, let's love it. Massive copper shortage. Maybe that is a composite man. Highest daily candle close, raveling October 5th, but possibly highest daily candle close since mid-September. Very, very nice there. Okay. Cautiously optimistic on copper. Kind of not like so much optimistic on gold, but could certainly understand if this confirmation low manifested into a smaller wave up that got you back above all the key supports you need to be above. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, gold, precious metal, man. Yeah, you're right. All right, so pump it to moon. Target, I mean, minimum 378 is the top of the harmonic, you'd think. Well, pay attention. Very cool. Very cool to see that. Oh, man, old coal. Coal, not really. It's just so... How do you gauge... This is tough, man, because it's like all three of these highs are lower than the buying climax, but you've made it low, the lower low, all of a sudden a higher low. So it's just like massive contraction going on right now. You're still technically showing, oh boy, tomorrow, BTU, Peabody Energy reports earnings. This is going to be very interesting. Better be a fly on the wall. I'm not participating in that. I mean, good God, it's so neutral. I mean, long-term uptrend, yes. But dang, dude. Stuck sideways, Paul Wallen, crazy. $20 to $29 range, and you're in the dead middle of it right now. Anyway, just spending some time. Sugar, all right. Sugar, you're done for, man. You done for, man. You've already topped out. Now you're showing just that distribution confirmation. Gotta love that 19.5 cent. Look at that, man. That high from October 2013. You tested it there. You're rolling over. I think this is the end for sugar, even though it is so range bound. I get it, man. I totally get it. Look at that big old rectangle up there, but you did jump across. I mean, you broke a supply line, I know. But it's been a good run. It's could be Wyckoff distribution and development right now going on. You up thrusted after distribution. But pay attention to sugar. I think that could very well be done, but it's still just going sideways. It's been sideways since over a year ago, since August of last year, sideways. Dude, what about Meta too, Jeffrey? Looks like a bull flag. I mean, you could call it a bullish rectangle, but dude, buyers attempted one time in July to make a higher high than the previous high from May and April. You sold off, you hit support, buyers defended it, you held, and you've rallied. But now, it is like the buyers, for the second time, have failed to recapture the previous highs. In fact, it wasn't even close. It was kind of a joke. So to me, that's really bad. You know, when do you make in an uptrend? When are you making lower highs? Really, you're not. And now you are, not one but two. That second time's the confirmation, and it's really, this yellow line is here, and it's because it's not a joke. I mean, this is a key inflection point. It failed, and it's been rolling over. And now you're back below the 200-day simple moving average again, as of yesterday and today. 40, I mean, you're about to fall into the bearish control zone. There's so much downside of market participants, will it? So just something to, we'll see. All right, so I've been live an hour and a half now, just like yesterday. Not too bad of a stream time. And you're gonna have ups and downs today, man. You go down to 20,400 again, it's not gonna be weird on the daily, right? It's just a back test simply.
Hang in there, Mitch. Lots of weirdness out there in the macro now, making our personal micro a bit more challenging. The valleys suck for sure, but like you said, you'll get out eventually. Best bro.
This soon shall pass, exactly. Oh yeah, before I go, we'll look at the DXY. Maybe a couple currency pairs. But DXY, remember what it did, where it did it. It's absolutely picture perfect. The channel, the supply line that goes back to 2009 was tested. It was up thrusted through and then formally back tested kind of twice as resistance. And it's so where it's reversing, it's kind of like the most duh area ever, right? And you know what that's going to do to everything in the world. Anything crypto, anything other currency pair that's tied to this, any equity, it's going to be good for them. So it's your first lower high on the daily that's discernible. Your first lower high. I mean, did you consider a lower high than the previous high? Not really, because it held so well. You hadn't seen a lower high on the US dollar probably since like November of 2020. It's now happened. It's now visible. You see it, and it broke the October 4th low. This is a real lower high. It's been just about 2 years since we've seen an actual lower high on a daily time scale. So something to think about there. Looking horizontally. Yeah, 105, maybe a peak from 1999. Valley kind of from 2002. Yeah, maybe there. Oh man, there's a valley at 108. Look what happened in 2008. This level here, I'll just plot it. When it hit that, right? It made a lower high here, 2000, rolled over and then came to this point at 108.34. And look what it did. Ran to the highest high. And then pulled a kind of a Bitcoin, like our big rising wedge. You know, like I'm saying, Bitcoin from early Q1, Q2 of 2021. All right, so just we'll see what happens. You know, if you got your DXY chart up, maybe plot that horizontal ray from January 2001, because it could act as a look. It's been support before. It's been resistance. Look at that, 2002. You know, a whole quarter, 3 months. It was resistance before rolling over. But yeah, there's like a peak from 89, and look, there's a valley from 1982 that you're currently at. There's a peak from 1974 you are currently at right now. And then you've got that 108 that also goes back to 1976. Oh, and then the valley from 1972. So that 2000, interesting. If we extend this out and go all the way back to 1972, now I see it. Talk about support resistance being timeless. Look no further than the first valley ever, really. That was it, man. On, you know, the chart data goes to 1967. Well, here you go, 1972, the valley peak, 76. It's a little bit lower. I guess it didn't quite touch it. So I'll just say it's a range 107.70 to 108. Just pay attention to that. It's real historical stuff. So a little bit more downside, and it wouldn't be weird. Okay, that's fine. All right, so I guess we can end it on that note. Oops. So I appreciate everyone coming out, watching the stream, and just enduring all the chop for so long. I mean, you know, the crashes made so much sense on the way down, and then we've just gotten to this point where we've crashed so much, and now there's a harmonic, but there's a right angle descending broadening formation. So many bad things going on in the macro. We think 2023 is going to be terrible, but then Bitcoin's doing some stuff like this on the daily and the weekly, and it's I'm cautiously optimistic back above 19,891, you know, and until we fall back below that, we got a chance. There's a chance, man. Always a chance. There always was a chance. And there you have it. So I appreciate everything, you know. J-Togs, thanks for that 50 today. Session Top Jesus and everyone else who contributed. And I'll be back. Yeah, the love's mutual, Jeffrey, man. Y'all be good. Till next time, respect the T. A.